G'day. I've decided to start this YouTube channel. I've called it under my new name, Dawood Reed. My Christian name was David, and Dawood is just the Arabic version of the name David. My first video on this channel was just of my Shahada. That was my reversion to Islam. I say reversion because they say that everybody's born a Muslim, and we're just brought up by the religion of our parents, as I was. I was born into the Catholic faith, was educated by Catholic brothers, Maris brothers, and was married in the Catholic Church. To be honest, I drifted away from the Catholic Church in my early 20s, and I turned 60 this year. But I still always identified as a Catholic. What you're born with. So when I ticked the box, it was always as a Catholic. I struggled with the concept of the Trinity, and at first I struggled also with idolatry. I started reading the Bible, and as far as I could see, a distaste was left in my mouth over the idolatry of the Catholic Church, and worshipping, or not worshipping, but praying to saints and praying to Mary and praying to Jesus and praying to God. And that seemed to be a lot of different people I was praying to. And I went on a bit of a journey. In my 40s, I had a go at Protestantism, and but never actually joined any faith. I went to a couple of evangelical churches for a little while, and that didn't sit well with me at all as well. But recently my wife of 30 years was diagnosed with a terminal illness that required a transplant to save her life, which we didn't think she was going to get. And in November of last year, the opportunity for the transplant came up, and we travelled 4 hours to Sydney, to the hospital where it was going to be performed. And the day of her operation, I decided that I was going to go to a church. And as it happened, I ended up passing by a mosque, and I went into the mosque. And I gained some sort of connection there. It all sort of fell into place over one God. It became very evident to me there was one God. There was no intermediaries to this one God. There were no saints in the middle. There were no praying to Mary in the middle, and there was no praying to Jesus in the middle. It dawned on me that Jesus, when he was in the garden, was praying to God. Wasn't praying to himself. There was no three in one. There was only God. There was only the singular one God. And it just dawned on me. It was an epiphany. And then I realised, I decided that I wasn't going to rush into this, so I made some inquiries, and I ended up meeting a nice Muslim man who said he'd lead me through a course called Understanding Islam. and I saw him for several weeks, 3-4 times a week, and he led me through the program, and eventually it all made perfect sense to me, absolutely made perfect sense to me, and I took my Shahada, and that video is on this channel. It's the first video I put up. And since that time I've been attending the mosque when I get the chance to. I've come back to Canberra. I live in Canberra, and I've yet to make contact with the local mosque here. It is Ramadan at the moment. It's my first Ramadan, and I'm fasting at the moment. I left the Catholic Church. I've finally broken away from a system of religion that had never sat well with me. I could never make up my mind whether I was praying to Jesus or praying to God or praying to Mary, who the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. 3 is 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is not 1. But I'm very pleased to have broken away. I feel connected now to the one true God, that my Creator, the Creator of everything. And it's now a matter of doing what He wants. And I found that through the Quran. I read the Quran. I read it with an open mind, and it all fell into place. So, it's probably, I think it's for everybody. I think that the morals and the guidelines of Islam could cure a lot of the world's ills, and it certainly has in my life. God answered me. The transplant of my wife was successful. I've now gotten her, and I'm very thankful to God for that. I'm so pleased to have broken away from Catholicism. The Catholic faith, to me, stunted me throughout my life. It left me with guilt, an enormous amount of guilt. The concept of original sin. The Apostles' Creed. How many times did I pronounce the Apostles' Creed in Mass? And did I believe in it? I'm not even so sure I ever believed in it. But by rote memorization and very pleased to have broken away from the Catholic Church. Very pleased to have embraced Islam. It's a journey. I'm only learning. There's a lot of education to be had, and I'm really looking forward to progressing on in my life and having a deeper connection with the Creator of everything, the Creator of the world, the Creator of me, and to develop some sort of gratitude after 60 years of disconnection. But this is the first video on this channel. I want to be able to express my thoughts and my feelings and my faith, and this channel will be an avenue to do that. They said jump in. You know, nobody's going to be perfect at producing videos to begin with. But anyway, I've held my nose and jumped. So thank you very much, and Assalamu alaikum.